Views expressed here are not supported by and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
This is Relationship-ish, where we talk about the cornerstone of every relationship. Connections. 9 p.m. We're live. Marriage. Sex.
And we're having a great time already.
Yourself. Your family. Divorce. Your ex. Your co-workers. Your friends. Your situation. Your lover. Your mother. You name it. Connections. And we always have a great time.
Of course you had to mess
With your
it up, right?
hosts, Vee and Caj.
You're now listening to the Evening Rush Network.
Good evening. How are we doing? Welcome to Relationship-ish, where we talk about the connection, the cornerstone of every relationship, connection, marriage, sex, food, politics, and we always have a good time. Like, follow, subscribe, call in. We are hot tonight. I'm your host. Well, we're your hosts. I'm Caj.
And I'm Vee.
And this is Relationship-ish.
So who do we have with us today, Caj? Who do we have with us today?
We have some bomb diggity people here visiting us today. We have Nikki. She is down for I'm only 10, but she's down for 20 plus years. We have our man Dom. He is our producer. He is the man from Relationship-ish and Thoughts of a Man. And we have our friend Chris Money. He's also here from Thoughts of a Man. Thank you for joining us all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So my day was crappy, but if you could think about your communication style in 3 words, your communication style in 3 words for today, this week, thinking about your communication style, what would it be?
Nikki, you go.
It would be
You go.
quick, calculated, and pensive.
I don't know why you had her go first.
Say something interesting.
I'm
going to be boring.
I think mine was angry, concise, and empathetic. But it's definitely angry, concise, and empathetic. Just like boom. Aww. I understand what you're saying. I do, but no. Yeah. Don, what about you?
Listen, I want to go with disappointed, stressed, and definitely sleepy.
Chris?
What's the question again?
Oh, Lord Jesus.
What is your communication style today in 3 words?
Oh, straightforward, no chasers. No chaser. Straight to it.
What about you, Vee?
I think I was sarcastic, lucid, and angry.
All right. Well, we're going to see how that folds out today on this show. So I want to tell you to November. We have 2 things in November. We have the National Native American Month. So celebrate, being Southern. We have the Black Paw. At least I know I have Black Paw Indian from North Carolina. So here's to the Black Paw. And this month is also celebrating Family Caregiver Appreciation Month. So if you know someone who is taking care of somebody, write them a love note so that they know that we see you. You're taking care of your mom, your dad, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa. Get the kids, give them a love note, give them a nice gift certificate to go get a pedicure or something like this. Let them know that they're not in it alone, and you see them. It's very important. So celebrate that this month, Caregiver Appreciation Month, along with Native American.
Get them some passports to get out the country.
Oh Lord, I guess that leads us to our next word. V, what's our word of the day?
Tumultuous. Because I think this was a tumultuous week. You know, it's a chaos, uproar, and you know.
I agree with you totally.
That's what this was.
That's a good pick.
How are y'all doing today? Yeah. People out there, are you feeling tumultuous? Anybody out there feeling that way? I don't know. So
let's see if we can get
this
Iris.
Was a no Vaseline kind of week.
A no Vaseline kind of week.
A no Vaseline.
What?
Okay. What did we lose cash, people?
She might have had a technical difficulty.
Oh,
she might have went to get some Vaseline.
Maybe she went to go get the Vaseline. That's right, Chris. She went out to the store. She's getting ready.
Oh my goodness! Oh my God. Okay.
There she go. There she go.
Oh, baby oil.
Oh, you getting the baby oil?
Oh my God! Everybody's freezing up. Oh, bringing the ditty.
So,
okay. Everybody's frozen here. I can't see nothing.
Well, I think the current topic is Harris lost the election. I think everybody's talking about it, and it's just it's on everybody's mind, whether you are for Trump or you're for Harris. It's still like, you know, I think some people who even voted for Trump were surprised that he won, you know, so it was a surprise for everybody. Not everybody was a sad surprise, but I still think for many people, they were like, did what? So, you know.
Well, go ahead.
No.
Oh, Iris, I forget that we can't type back on it. I'm like looking to type.
That's what I went to go look for.
Can't type. We need to tell our producer that I love this.
That's what I was looking for. I was doing something else. I was going to see where I can type, and I'm like, okay, I can't type. Iris, hey. But so okay, so tell me, guys, about your night when, you know, election night.
So I did not. I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch anything on election day or election night. My kids did.
You want to lie to us? You said, let me be honest with you.
Maybe Cash makes me feel a certain way. I can't be my honest self sometimes. Now,
don't be intimidated.
It's okay. I got a dress for you over here.
Listen, the guy was in a garbage truck. He was in a McDonald's. He never spoke anything about where we going as a country. Never. And yet you wake up first thing in the morning and he's up by like 90 points or something crazy. And I said, I felt Hillary Clinton. I felt Hillary Clinton all over again from the jump. And so I just wanted nothing to do with it. I wasn't surprised she lost. I kind of knew she was going to lose. I'm just disappointed because where do we go from here? Like, what do we do? Like, what, like, when you have somebody
didn't we say that the first time?
Huh?
Didn't we say that the first time?
You know, exactly. And to have to say it again, I feel like, what's the definition of insanity? Like, that's the feeling I'm feeling. Like, I can't believe we're in this place, and don't understand why. I just don't understand. The dude was having the time of his life, driving a garbage truck, working at McDonald's, pretending she's not black, getting his people shot and killed. Yo, you name it, it went down and he won. Yo, I'm gonna have a color change operation. I'm gonna be white in a few months. Period. I am going to be.
This is for
okay.
educational purposes only.
Educational
Let me just throw it out there.
Yeah, well,
I'm saying, man. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I think, and I think for me, listen, my father did not go to college. So when I say this with respect. I'm not trying to say, but I think Trump won because a lot of undereducated people voted for him. And I feel like if we fix the system where, I know this is my own personal feeling, when they would have the draft and they're like, no matter what, when you're 18, you're going to go for 2 years or whatever. I think no matter what, when you're 18, you have to go to school, especially if you're in Tennessee or one of those places and you don't know anything, you don't know the world, you didn't go to the army, you need something. And I feel like we need to make it mandatory because I feel like that's the problem. They don't know. They're voting blindly. They don't, that's what I think. I mean, they're not educated. They're the ones who voted for him the most, and we can't fix it if we don't educate them. We can't. This is just going to be a blind cycle.
Do you think you can educate someone who does not want to be educated?
Yes. Because listen to me. Yeah, no. Because this is the thing. It's like, I'll make a quick synopsis, something to make you understand. My father goes to a senior home. I take him there like twice a week, and he has a ball. But he said, I'm not going. I said, Dad, you need to go. I don't need to go. I already know. I forced him to go. And now he's calling me going, what time you coming? You're going to be late. You need to pick me up. You can't. Well, you don't know what you don't want to know till somebody opens your eyes. It's not going to work for everybody. But if we just say we can't do anything about it, they're never going to learn, then they're never going to learn. I made him go. And now he wants to go. So if you don't force some of these issues and say, well, they don't want to learn, so nothing we can do, well, then, okay, but I don't think that's true. And I think that's a cop-out. And we're not going to get anywhere if we're going to just say, well, there's nothing we could do. So
I just want to acknowledge Iris's statement.
Mm-hmm.
They would rather get a felon rapist than an overly qualified woman. And that is so true what you just said. So I got to give you hand claps for that.
Well, and you know what, like what I heard, it was, and this person said it to me, like, she's a Black woman. Like, do you really think she can do that? She can't run a whole country. Like, he already ran a business. And you know me. You know I clap back so fast and so hard when people want to like come at me and like, because I felt that's me, right? You don't want a Black qualified woman in a seat of power.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I couldn't say anything. Like, I broke because it was like, for me, I took this personally. Like, I will, no matter how educated I get, no matter what I do, no matter the hoops I jump through, I am not good enough for this society. And I know I'm overly qualified in so many things, but people will not give you the chance because I am a Black woman. When I talk on the phone, you don't know. You're like, oh yeah, and then when you see me, you're like, hi, yeah, you're Tiffany. Oh, okay. Like, that is the blow. You
But at the
know?
end of the day, it shouldn't be about race. It shouldn't be about if she was a woman. It was the fact that she was qualified.
And she's not a
Was she
felon.
qualified to be? Yes, and she's not a felon. But is she qualified to run this country? She's been doing it. Let's not get it twisted. She's been running the country, and Joe is sick, so he pretty much hasn't been running the country really. It had to be her. So she's been doing it for the last 4 years. With help, of course.
Yes, but so will they all have help?
Well, you know why that was acceptable, right?
Because she was in the backbone, in the shadows.
Because she was behind the white face.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, but it's also just because she was very different in her approach to her campaign. So I feel like, for her, as you said, she was doing a lot of things behind the scenes. She was involved in the details. But for some people, they felt like they didn't know where she stood on certain things. It's a lot easier when you're a candidate who has no line or allegiance to anything, and you can come and say different things that you want to say. And so I do feel like that was kind of one narrative that I was, hearing around why some people didn't feel comfortable, in addition to a lot of the other things you mentioned. But I do feel like that was one piece. It was, she didn't separate herself. She's still in the role that she's in, but I think people wanted to know her position, wanted to understand what she was going to do. And initially she wasn't sharing that. She had a very short runway to, create her vision, share her vision, and considering the amount of time that she had to pull together her campaign and what she was able to accomplish, I do think for a lot of people although there's grief, disappointment, shock, dismay, there are for some still this sense of hope that she was able to do what she was able to do in that small window of time. And so there is also a narrative of people focusing on that, what she was able to accomplish and what we can learn from that, and what the ACLU and so many of the other organizations are like, what are we going to focus on now that some of these questions that she put out there are out there, and how can we continue to move those narratives now that they were out there and discussed.
Well, V, when you brought up something about people wanting to learn, the problem isn't about people wanting to learn. The problem is people think they know it all. And the internet is so scary where you got politics run off of rumors, right? Like where we are seeing a rumor and running with it as if it's a truth. Even I was a victim of it when I thought that she convicted 500 people over marijuana. That was a big rumor that
That
was
was in the
dispelled. I
beginning.
said, "Oh snap. Yeah, she never did that." But on the internet, you have the where politics and gossip, what's the difference? Right? I don't know. And it's so scary when you want to educate somebody, but they think they know because they saw Fox News online or they saw Bubba who knows everything and he said it because he got it from her. And you're competing against that. So people aren't going to go for your knowledge. You can't, you will have to take your father away from Fox News or take the internet away from them because they're being fed garbage. And
Well,
how do you really know what's the truth when you're believing so many lies?
no, I definitely agree with that. I'm 100%. But I still think that we need to make those people go to school. That's the only answer.
So I do have a question. Do is it everything Trump said that y'all are against for him not being president, or is it certain things? Because you got to play devil's advocate in every situation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
And this
that's
is the
going to
reason why I
come.
asked.
I think that's going to come up with our points later on
Gotcha.
about everything is not boo boo, but I think a big hit to me still is you are a man who's like this people think about oh, this is race. This is about race. You just went with a black woman. You didn't care what she stood for. Like, like on our TikTok, you're like, oh, I know who you voted for because you're, Cash and V are two black women. Okay, white man, I know who you're voting for. Like, but that's not the reason. The fact that you're putting it out there that is the reason I'm voting for her is because she's black. Like, and then, but she's not black. She pledged a D9 and went to Howard University. How you fake that? We're like, I went to Howard and I pledged a D9 back in whenever. How can you fake that and be like, oh, why didn't you pledge Delta 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 and be an Indian? That's not the way it worked. You know what I mean? And so you're saying that I'm voting for, and this is like a DEI thing. You're thinking that I'm just putting someone who's underqualified because they're black and I'm going to put them on my list. No, you are qualified. You have the credentials. You have the pedigree to be in that position. And I think this race was very racially charged, where people think because she is a black person that she's not qualified. But look at her pedigree.
But they're not looking, and that's why I said if we don't educate people, they're not looking. They're looking at her skin color, they're looking at his skin color, and they're like, and some women, they interviewed some women why they didn't vote for her, white women, and they were like, well, women are not as level-headed as men, and he already had a business. I was afraid, she'd be too emotional to be the president. She's not too emotional to be the vice president, but she's too emotional to be the president.
So Don, what policies did Trump run on other than making racist comments?
She already established. We'll talk about that on the second half. So I'm cool.
The second half.
And so
I just have questions like everybody else.
And then also he when he did his first term, how many people quit? How many people were fired? How many people got arrested? I've never in my lifetime seen an administration swamped with criminals, swamped with people who couldn't even speak English, who didn't know how to communicate with the people before Trump. Everybody he hired. Who was the school woman that did nothing but visit schools and did absolutely nothing, not a single program? What did he accomplish that was, wow, Trump did his job, right? Like he sold our PPE to China when we needed it. Like, what did he do that really was like, I want that guy back?
Richer. He made the rich people richer.
Exactly. And remind me,
when did corporations tax breaks and
yes, Nikki
lightened up on their environmental policies and requirements, all the things that improved.
He brought fracking back.
He brought what back?
Fracking.
The hell is fracking?
Yeah, fracking is when they dig for oil or they dig and they do something to the earth where it's not good. It's not it's not great
for the environment.
Stimulus checks that Congress gave us, that caused us to have and that's we have to pay that back. We got
paid
money.
It back.
We have to pay
that back through taxes. So that was paid back money.
And
but
also,
most people don't pay their
Trump
taxes, so that would be.
But it wasn't
thing.
Trump that did that. Whoever the president was going to do that. Like that's not something that he did, right? He didn't say let's give the people money. No, he did not. That's not him. He steals people's money. But it's just
realize is he vetoed one of the three that we received. So the other two was agreed upon by Congress, House and Congress.
Right.
And those were the two that we received. And then he vetoed one. So that was the other reason. That was the reason why they felt he gave us money. So that's the.
And I had a person the other day say, maybe that's what they're talking about. They were like, Trump gave us welfare. you know, they don't want to give us welfare. They don't want to give us money. Trump did that for us. And I was like, when did Trump support what? Maybe that's what they're talking about. They said that they ran a whole bunch of ads on like TV 41 and 47, whatever that is. And Trump supported them and gave them welfare. I was like, okay. And that's the and you know, like when I talk about policies or whatever, that's one that I'm like, you sitting at home and you got a Range Rover and I'm busting my ass like every day and I'm driving a little Honda. Shoot, no, we gotta change that. But that's here nor there. That's just one topic. But yeah, she lost, and they're saying like it's a landslide. But if you look at it, it's like she had 47% here, and she had 46% there. I mean,
the total was 47% against 51% in the nation. So 47 to 51.
And shame on you, black men. Shame.
Because
Excuse
black
me.
men did not come out for her.
Not all black men. This.
Well, you have to represent right now, buddy. You in the hot seat.
Right. You know, when I'm the only one in the room, right? The whole room is others, and I'm the only black person, and they go, you know, I was thinking about this the other day. Would it be okay if I volunteered? You know, in some places that they need, you know, black people need things, these black kids. And I'm like, why are you looking at me? Because I'm the only one. You, sir, you take it.
I just want to say this is for educational purposes only.
Listen, brothers needed that Elon Musk money. He was giving out $1 million.
Yeah.
He was. I said he paid people. That's why it's illegal to do that.
And Trump appointed 200 judges. And I wonder if one of the judges was the guy that said, no, that's okay. But yeah, we got Trump back. Yep.
And Latino men, shame.
And,
shame.
Are you talking about my people? Unfortunately,
yeah,
it's not all
today I'm
men.
African.
No. I'm talking to the shame. 44% of Latino men, only 44% of Latino men voted for Kamala Harris. 44%. The machismo, like,
and that was even after he called Puerto Rico garbage.
Oh my God!
Not him, but his comedian
started.
And
he drove garbage trucks after that.
Yes, but it wasn't him. But it was the comedian, but he did not denounce it. Like he did not denounce.
He drove a garbage truck after.
No, he established that he said it wasn't him. He didn't apologize for it.
No, he didn't apologize. They asked him about it.
He didn't apologize for it, but he said
it was a love fest. He said it was a love fest. It was a love fest. That's what
he also said, but that wasn't
he drove
against
a garbage truck after.
It wasn't him. That's what he said. He established it wasn't him.
This is the thing I can't even understand. People got dressed up in garbage bags as Latinos and Latinas and said, I am Trump's garbage.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they still went out and voted for him.
Mm-hmm. And he drove a garbage truck too.
Cat and the fiddle F is going on. When would you get dressed up in a garbage bag and be like, I'm your garbage? That's like that's like you want to be oppressed. Like it's like a dominatrix. It's like almost Trump is like a dominatrix and whipping people, talking about, yes, I'm your daddy. And they're like, you my daddy, I'm your garbage. Like that's the mentality it feels like you want to be submissive.
It's not that.
Tell me what it is.
Some people truly will say they're not their race. just so that they can, feel like they're not that race. They prefer to be acknowledged as, Caucasian.
Well, I'm going to the
So
Sammy Sosa thing. I gotta.
You can't get mad because they don't want to be their race. They want to be Caucasian. That's just
Okay, but you want to get dressed up in a garbage bag, and you might as well put blackface on. You gonna put blackface on?
There you go. There you go. Some people just sit there and say, "Yo, listen, that for them is who they are." They're upset that they're our race. They rather be this race. How many
Latinos
people, religion wise, do you know sit there and go, I'm not this, I'm that. They all the time. Because they just won't denounce, oh, I'm not Baptist, I'm not Christian, I'm this.
Oh, and that's a whole nother thing I'm gonna get into.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. But I just want to establish that that's what that is.
Iris says Latinos are racist and have very conservative views and lean in what? I guess lean on Republicans to
lean Republican in general when it benefits them.
I just want to say, Iris, not all Latinos. I'm part Latino, so I refuse to.
Iris is a Latino.
Okay, so there we go, mommy. Listen, I refuse to accept some of that. He unfortunately
pointing fingers. 44%.
I am a black Latino, and I believe.
When you black Latino?
I believe that I don't want to be oppressed.
You know what? I'm going to self-identify for the rest of this time as a Venetian.
You don't think he has any Latino in him? He did the 23andMe.
Let him know, V. Let him know, V.
I'm not going to say if he has what in him.
That's the mic.
I'm not going to say if what he has in him.
Listen.
Let's take a quick break.
Yes.
We're going to come back.
And I wanted to know that one.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna.
We needed a pause on that.
Yeah, definitely pause on that one.
Share this and
all day. Listen, we're gonna go to take a quick break and we'll be back.
Download the app.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Chrissy, here to let you know that the Evening Rush Network now has an app. Yes, an app, you guys. So you can stay connected on the go and watch all your favorite podcast shows. You can download the app at Google Play Store or Apple iTunes. So spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you're looking to start a podcast and really don't know how, well, hit us up at the Evening Rush Network at gmail.com and inquire about time slots, pricings, and everything you may need to get started. We got you. Join the winning team, the Evening Rush Network. And also, download that app. What are you waiting for? Get to it.
New York. The Still in Love Tour Concert. Live from Indigo Lounge. New York. The Still in Love Tour Concert. Live from Indigo Lounge. Featuring Nick Wezia. Essence Official. Jay Relentless. Zay Hefner. Bria Anai. Special guest Kev Just Kev. And I am the real face. December 14th, 8 p.m. You don't want to miss this.
Now listening to the Evening Rush Network.
Welcome back. Welcome back. So this is relationship-ish. When we talk about the connection, cornerstone of every connection. Am I on?
Yes, you're on.
Yes, you're on.
And today's show, what is today's show? The topic of the show?
Today's topic is politics affecting your family dynamics.
All right, so we were talking about Cash. You were on. She can't hear us.
I think there's a technical difficulty.
Okay, so there's
So let's
we're
keep going.
talking,
Let's roll the
yeah,
ball.
so yeah, so we were talking about some of the now we have a new president-elect Donald Trump, and we were talking about some of the things he plans to implement. And what the first thing that we wanted to talk about was immigration, because I think that's a lot of people did not vote for uh, Vice President Harris because of immigration. They were like, because I think Biden bumbled. I don't know what he did letting these people in, but it was not up to her. It was up to him. And I feel like everybody's like, well, she did it. She's the vice president, not the president. So she's there as a support, But now Trump has all these ideas that's going to cost like money. And he says he's going to put tariffs on people and on China to pay for it, which is not going to be enough money. But when he puts a tariff on China, this is what I feel like, oh, people, are you listening? Because they're not stupid. They already thought that Trump was going to win, so they already started jacking up the prices of what we're buying. And what they intend to do is just jack it up all the way. And then when they get the tariff, they're not going to jack it up. They're going to take it, and because they've already been jacking it up, and then they're going to pay it. But we're paying. So instead of $5, we're paying $8. We're going to pay. So we're still getting screwed, because I'm like, we're still going to have to pay. You think they're just going to say, oh, there's a tariff on these goods? We need these goods. So they're going to give it to us, and they're not going to say that they need to sell them. So they're not going to say, well, we're not going to do it if you're going to put a tariff, but they're not stupid. Who's going to pay that? We are.
Unfortunately, this is the only thing that I agreed with Trump was immigration. And the reason why I agreed was because I feel like we already have too many people in this country.
Of course.
We're not able to take care of ourselves, and we're letting more people in every day.
Taking care of them.
And we're taking care of everybody else. So how can we keep taking care of everybody else, and you have poor here, you have homeless here. You go to Canada, it's not like that. They have homeless, but it's not as bad as here.
Right. Yep.
So that was the only thing I agreed with Trump was immigration, and that's I think they need to get some type of handle on it.
Right. Of course, but Harris said she was going to take care of it. So she said she's not going to let this stand. If
Harris went on an interview and she said she would do everything the same in terms of immigration. Yeah. She stood by Biden's way of handling it. She didn't differentiate herself, and I think people didn't like that. But on a bigger note,
at the beginning, she changed.
I know, but it's hard. Perception starts from the first conversation.
Right. And then what I'm saying also is, regardless of that, Trump had 4 years. What did he do in 4 years with immigration? Nothing. He didn't change anything. What he did was he separated kids. He separated families. He created detention centers, right, where people had to sleep in aluminum foil. Like, let's be clear. He has no answer.
You also gotta understand. Hold up, time out. You also gotta understand. This is the whole presidential issue is that first 4 years of being a president is fixing or changing what the last president did. That's why when most presidents get that second term, they're able to, make some type of change in the system.
That's true.
When they do their second 4. He didn't never get the second 4, which was fine with me. I was happy with Joe. Until I noticed Joe getting older, he's having problems doing such and such. But then I knew he wasn't no longer running the country. Kamala was, and like I said, the people helping him. That's just my opinion.
I disagree on this issue. I disagree with you.
But immigration wise, bro, you gotta be honest. and you
He
truly
built
got to
a
be evidence.
wall.
We
Okay.
are so crazy with immigration right now because there's so many people flooding this
I agree.
the U.S.
Okay, but okay, can we like pause, because
Sorry.
this is America, right? America was built on people coming
On
here.
immigrants.
Legally.
There was
I
no
can't say legally.
there was
In
no
the beginning.
there's no legal there are legals. However, there are plenty illegal immigrants. This is how this country was built. Okay, think about all the different generations who came here.
We're not arguing that fact.
There's not always legal, because think about all of the Chinese who came. That's how we have railroads. Think about all the blacks who came. This is why we have the South.
We brought them to this country to do that. They did not come.
And look at homelessness.
The Irish.
And look at how many times Trump
Look at
played
homelessness.
golf. Look at how many times Trump played golf when he was president. How many times we had his kids with security detail going overseas talking our bit. Are you kidding me? You think we made
hold on. I'm not sitting here saying
his family
what he did is good. But what I'm sitting here saying is, if we're sitting here taking care of other people, how does that take care of us?
But he has no plan to take care of us.
Hold up, time out.
The
We
hot
have
button
to
issue
for money that should have been
on.
given to us in a hole. Like, bro, we shouldn't have to fight for a PPP loan. We shouldn't have to fight for stimulus packages when we were going through a crisis. There's no reason there should have been a House sitting there saying no, Congress saying no. It shouldn't have been like that, bro. They should have been like off the rip. Yo, take care of our people. We're going through something. Take care of our people. No, you're sending money off to Afghanistan. You're sending money off to Pakistan. Bro, that does make sense. Think about it. You got to think about it. It does make sense.
If you don't take care of
people here.
But you can't live as one country by yourself. So at the end of the day, you have to have allies, because we import a lot of stuff. So you can't cut off and be like, oh, sorry, you're cut off. We're a country of immigrants, and we need others just like they need us.
Where were those others when we was going through COVID?
All countries have immigrants, but they not like what we have.
They were going through COVID.
Yeah, everyone went through.
Okay, so when they were going through COVID, just like we were going through COVID, our money was going over there. So we were taking care of them and taking care of us.
Going where?
Overseas.
Where
Was you not watching TV?
I'm asking you a simple question. Where overseas? Where did you see this on TV?
Whoever they said was allies.
Let's be specific.
Okay, I'm sitting here telling you. I'm being specific. Whoever was being said were allies. That's where our money was going, because they needed stuff that apparently they didn't have.
Mm-hmm. We did.
So they didn't have enough COVID tests, so we had to send them ours.
But
we're sitting here fighting, paying $10 for COVID tests.
Who was the president? And who was the president?
Bro,
who was the president during that time?
Pardon me. Hold up. Before all that happened.
During COVID, Biden was not the president.
Time out. Yes, we know. I know Trump was president. But I want to sit here. But you got to, once again, this is what I'm saying. There's a House, there's a Congress. There's no reason why that should have happened. When you had we had millions of people die, bro, off of the fact that we couldn't take care of ourselves because we're helping other people. And yes, I get what y'all saying. We gotta have, we gotta help some people. I agree. But bro, we can't help each other. If we can't help other people, if we can't help ourselves first.
Here's the thing though, Don. The problem is the politics. We need to educate ourselves on the politics, because it's not as simple as we can't send these people money. We have agreements with other countries that we are honoring, like Israel. We didn't just start sending Israel money because of any of these presidents. This goes back probably to Reagan, right? We have long-standing commitments to other countries that whatever our politicians before our time decided to commit our resources to for whatever reason. So it isn't as simple as this ain't a Trump thing. This is not a Kamala thing. It's not a Biden thing. Some of these commitments go beyond them, go beyond us. And until we're on the other side, there's some information that we might not even be privy to.
Facts. I agree with
But
that.
there's a reason why they are Israel. Man, I'm telling you, Israel stay getting money, stay getting funded.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
let's
you
talk
check the
about this
But
record.
does
great.
that make it
They go
okay?
back.
That makes it okay,
It's not
right?
about no, but what I'm saying to you is what makes you think any politician can
Meaning,
go into office
once again,
and shut
listen to what
the
I'm saying.
faucet off?
Not shut the faucet off, stop them from coming in.
Yeah.
All right. So
What do you
let's
think,
think.
Nikki?
Let's say about where's our stand on immigration here on this policy to
I want to hear what
re-agree.
Nikki has to say. If
That's
you
what
don't mind.
I'm
So
just
No, I said what I said
didn't
what I
hear
was.
you because it was too much.
I'm
So
sorry about that. I'm
it's
sorry
okay.
about that, lady.
I just want
No.
to hear what she didn't. She spoke, but we couldn't really hear her. So
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that's okay.
No, that's okay. I had just said that, the focus on the immigration statement wasn't because there was an actual plan or a commitment to social services for us. The statement was because they knew that that would be a trigger item for people who are concerned about what money is going here, what money is going there. That was it. So that's the concern, that a lot of the things that were said were just inflammatory statements with no commitment, no long-standing investment in actually doing anything about what was being said. And that's the fear, that you now have people who voted for someone under the belief that something was going to happen because they stated it, but they had been lying all the time in other conversations as well. And so I think that that's what the issue is. There was nothing actually about the issue of immigration. There was nothing about what types of things you could put in place to improve the situation, balancing against, yes, our international policies and the things that we've committed to over time. We are a country based on alliances and allegiances, and those are the things that have helped us accomplish the things that we've accomplished. But that wasn't a part of the narrative. It won't be, because that wasn't the goal. The goal was to create fear. The goal was to fuel what people were anxious about. And that's why those things were said.
Thank you, Nikki.
All right.
Yep.
So let's move. We could spend all day. Let's move to our number 2, abortion. So, it's played up in the second term. He took credit for, this is the Supreme Court. I put those people in there so we can reverse Roe versus Wade. And now women's bodies are being run basically by the federal government. And it's not just about abortion as we know. Like abortion is like, oh, I had sex and I want to give up this baby. But abortion is a blanket over women cannot give up a baby, even if they've been raped by raped. They can't have an abortion if they need it because they are miscarrying and they need a DNC. They can't, fetuses or embryos are considered property of whoever, and now you can't have IVF. So abortion is this blanket statement, and it's going explicitly. He's said that he gave it to the state, and GOP, we're not going to take it into the federal government. You do what you want into the state. So what are we thinking about these policies here?
Yeah, but what I think is it worked out in my favor. I'm not going to say our favor, but because what they did is they separated that. So you could vote for Trump and still vote for Proposition 1 and take care of that. And only two states did not are leaving it alone. So in those two states, just went out
One
of my
was
head.
Florida, I think.
Yeah,
'cause
Florida's
Florida,
one, and the other one. Those are the only two. We won every other state
yeah,
so that's it, and that was the goal. So he tried to
definitely.
shut it down, but people did not. They stayed awake, and they did not shut it down. There's only 2 states that are going to stay without having an abortion. Every place else, we're good to go. Not good to go, but
And I think that was like one of the best decisions to separate it like that. To be
yeah, and
honest, because I have daughters, and God forbid something happened to them.
right,
Yeah, they can have that choice.
and people want to
I
have
am pro-choice
IVF,
with that.
and they did not want not to be like. So I feel like it's not about Trump anymore because they put it in the hands of the states, and the states have spoken. People voted, and now that's it. So I'm like, only 2 states, and the 2 states would make me really mad. Florida you had to have 60% of the vote to win because they tried to make it so that it wouldn't pass. But so Florida has something like 59. They're missing like 1%, so they're not going to be able to change it. But all the other states got 60 and above, so it didn't work. They didn't make it 50-50, or they made it, you got to have 60% or it stays the way it is. And all the other states it did. So I don't remember the other state. It was in my head 5 minutes ago. But anyway, so I'm glad that they separated it. So then we don't have to worry about that part of it.
Chris, what are you thinking? You got quiet over there.
And he moved back. We can't see you.
Nah, I just listen, I just think women should decide what they want to do with it. I don't know why I want to just vote for whatever you guys want to do with your body.
Thank
Period.
you.
That's just it. Like I just hate that we have to have this conversation.
Yeah, I saw this meme, and well, it's not a meme. I saw this Instagram post, and the guy was like, the government's going to put in place that all men after 21 are going to have vasectomies, and it's going to be a state mandate. He's like, what? Why would they do that? And he's like, the federal government's taking into hand all these babies that are being born. So we're going to have vasectomies, and it's going to be federally run. And he's like, I don't agree with that. He's like, you're not going to vote for the government can take control of your body? He's like, hell no. No. And he's like, so what do you think about abortion? He's like, oh, you shouldn't be killing babies. And we have a right to save these children. And he's like, but the government can't tell you to have a vasectomy, but you could tell women to keep a baby. Okay. It's just like interesting. So everybody... Oh, Nikki, what do you think on this?
No, I was just reading some of the comments, and I know that, Iris kind of said that many states didn't, put it on the ballot. So if it's codified, then everyone is protected. So I mean, I think what's for me about it is just like he's saying that, oh, they can go and decide, but there's always the ability to backtrack on that. And so I always just wonder, what's the real reason that you kind of gave them that option? Is it really, like I'm like, what's really going on there?
He was losing the vote.
He was going to lose. And people were going to vote for Harris because you see what they wanted, the abortion rights. Even males voted that because they have daughters, they wanted the abortion rights, and people wanted IVF. So he had to separate it. It was for his own agenda. He doesn't care about us. But if he didn't separate it, he might have lost because people still want these things.
I wonder if Melania said, dude, how do you think we had our kids? Because I know that man. No, it wasn't firing.
You don't.
I'm sure it wasn't firing. She's like, we had our kids. What do you think these happened? So I'm just saying. All right. So number 3, taxes. is gonna broadly tilt toward, of course, who's gonna tilt toward these tax breaks? Come on.
Wealthy businesses.
I
Don,
love tax
he's
breaks.
going to get the biggest tax.
I love tax breaks. I ain't gonna sit here and say I don't, but that wouldn't have made me vote for him either way. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I love tax breaks, but I'm not. That wouldn't have affected my vote. No, either way.
I mean, because the Democrat, they took out something that I got less money back. I don't know what it was, but we couldn't claim something. I was like, why? And they're like, change the president. And I was like, okay, like, why am I not? You're hurting me. You're hurting my legs. But I don't think I'm wealthy enough to get this tax break that they're talking about. So from 15% to 21, from 21% to 15%. And is, again, we're going to have this trickle down theory. If you have overtime, you're not going to be taxed on your overtime, but then that affects the Social Security. So, why can't
can I ask a question? Did any of y'all realize as soon as he was announced president, stocks started to plummet for already?
Yeah, they went up.
No, they actually went down.
No, they went up as soon as he.
No, I watch the stocks every day.
Went up.
Certain stocks went down because
but all three, we didn't even open up yet. Countries found out that he's making a speech. The Scots, they shut up. I was like, here we go. So I don't know.
To prepare for hardship. Why was that, Iris? Yeah. I wonder why that is. So he's learning. I want to know why that is, because
there's going to be massive layoffs. There's going to be all the people, once they got your vote, watch all the changes that are going to happen, because never elect somebody who didn't give you a plan, because what they're going to do is not going to be something that everyone's going to like, because he would have spoke about it.
He didn't have a plan to speak about. He didn't
have a plan.
No, he has a plan. No,
he doesn't have a plan.
He has a plan for them, for the rich folks, but he doesn't have a plan for the everyday Joe.
Yeah,
and I know I'm not the rich folks, so I'm
right.
Thinking, like, what is this? But it just gets me under my skin sometimes. My tax money going. We had a friend, and I feel bad, but I don't feel bad. But I feel bad, but I don't feel bad. She hasn't had a job in over like 10 years. Hasn't paid taxes in like over 10 years, maybe 20 years.
I know that friend.
And then took their kid to have like 5 different surgeries that are like creme de la creme surgeries on my dollar. And so I'm proud of it.
Yeah, but it's not cosmetic surgery. It was necessary surgery.
It was necessary surgery, but why am I flipping your bill?
Because this is the U.S. and we allow it.
Right. But it's so what would you want to do? You would want to make that kid suffer? Like,
but once again, no, because you got to remember, healthcare is free in Canada. I just want to establish that
it's free in England.
So listen,
free in Canada.
Pay part of that.
Biden made insulin affordable. Was trying to make all medicine affordable. But now we got Trump.
Yep.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
No.
You know who's gonna feel it the most? Those people that's done voted for him.
No, who's gonna feel it is people that didn't vote for him and the people that voted for him.
We're all going
to feel that.
Yes.
And if you have diabetes or anything like that,
it's probably going to go back up.
Yeah, it's going to be harder to get our medicine.
Like, it went down, and I'm like, oh yeah. Now I'm going to be like, oh no, here we go.
That's why, and that's why I'm just like, when you have somebody, you ever hired somebody that you didn't know anything about, but somebody just told you to hire them? When did that ever work out? Right?
No, I
No
never did that.
references,
right
no
now.
history, no nothing.
You're
Trump,
making me
no
feel bad
plan,
right now.
no nothing. No, he's just gonna be president because
He
had
was.
he had a business.
And he was president last time. What annoys me about him being president this time more than last time is he didn't say these crazy things about Black people having Black jobs. He did not. He was censored, and him being censored when he won last time, even though it did hurt my feelings, it didn't hurt so bad because I didn't know he wasn't honest. So I didn't know he didn't like me as much as he didn't like me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now I'm like, we have a president in there.
Wait. So when he took the full page ad for those black kids to die, you didn't know about that?
No, listen to me. Listen to me.
The Central Park 5?
Okay, so listen to me. I did know about that, but listen to me. My in-laws, because they were white and they did not want me to marry my ex-husband. Okay, so they didn't come. 5 years later, they're calling me up to please come because I was the favorite daughter-in-law. So people change. So that's then. Maybe he's because so you can't say that they don't change because I was actually left something from my mother-in-law because and my the white sister-in-law was not. So she changed it. She realized the error of her ways. So I didn't know because Trump wasn't talking. See what he's doing now? So now we know he did not change.
No.
Then,
So let me get this. So let me get this straight. If I say you should die for something you did that you didn't do, and then I find out you didn't do it, and I don't even offer you an
he
apology,
never apologized.
how am I
He never
changing?
He doesn't apologize for nothing.
No, he never apologized for
He
anything.
never changed.
I
He never
understand that,
changed.
yes, but in my head, he wasn't vocal. Like he's now. They said he should keep his mouth shut. He didn't. I'm glad he didn't
put
keep
a
his mouth
full
shut.
ad in the New York Times. How much vocal can you be?
Listen, he got in trouble. He got over $3 million fined for not allowing Black people to move into his new buildings because he got a tax break because he was going to make it for everybody. And then he didn't. And then they found him guilty and they had to pay, I think it was 3 million, but I don't know. It was 3 million or above, him and his father, because they didn't want Blacks in. So I get that. So, but I still, I think it's not, when he wasn't being so vocal, I didn't want to believe that he's still like that. You know what I mean? So this time I know that he's like that. And now I know that he's going to be my president, as much as he doesn't like people of who are not white Europeans, which none of us are.
You know how many Black people did he appoint when he was president? How many Black jobs did he? How many people did he put in office that were Black, that were me and you? Out of those 200 judges that he appointed, how many of them are Black, like me and you? We should play a game. We should play a game. Is it Trump Black or America Black? Who did he hire? Because when you look at it, it may have been like 2 or 3 people, if that. But you telling me he's for us? Yeah.
No, I'm not telling you he's for us.
She didn't say he was for us. I think that she said because what I call it is polite racism. I think that, and I have a lot of.
I like that. I'm going to use that.
My family's from down south, so it's blatant in your face. They say, "Near, get out! I'm gonna fly you up." You cannot go to certain places. You cannot go to certain stores. It is known. It is in your face. Up here, it's polite racism. It's like, well, we don't have any more apartments. call back, Val. And they know that they have 20 upstairs and they need to rent it like yesterday. But they're not going to say, I'm not going to rent it to you because you Black.
Mhm.
But up down south, they'd be like, I know you're not getting this apartment.
Yeah, yeah,
so
but
it's a
to me,
polite racism. And
I
I
believe the
that
polite
I
racism.
think that Trump was being, like, oh, the KKK wants to back him in the first election. He was like, no, I don't
Nope, he
want
said
your
no.
money.
Exactly, he said
But
no.
then
This time he said, okay.
he realized that he fueled them. He realizes by fueling that he got even more votes.
Mhm.
He was trying to subdue that before, but now, yeah, your Black jobs. They're like, yeah, Proud Boys. So I think it was different from his first election to his second election.
Yeah, the
I think
KKK
there
touched
was
his weapon the first time
a
and he said
difference
no.
in his tactics. But
Yep.
let's move to number 4. His DEI, LGBTQ, and civil rights stance. Now that he had, and this is the part that scares the bejesus out of me. His stance on DEI is wipe it out because we are all equal now. There's no need for civil rights. We've reached the promised land. Everybody is equal. We don't need this protection. The fact that you have the Senate, the House, the Supreme Court, and the presidential executive branch all together, just like he rolled over Roe v. Wade, he can definitely roll over Brown. So what's your take on that? The regulation of the civil rights and the rallies and the speeches, and we don't need Title IX. And this is a big thing that one of my co-workers were talking about. He's like, I don't want people who identify as girls to come and play sports with my little daughter, or people who pretend to claim that they are female so they can go touch my daughter when they go to the bathroom. So, like, these are the things that are on people's minds. And this is why I want to vote for this, because I don't think that LGBTQ should have all these rights and identify how you want to identify. It's gotten out of control. He swears that he saw a video where the kid identified as a cat, and it was, this right is protected however you want to identify. And the mom had the kid eating on the floor and using the bathroom in the litter box. It's like, that's crazy. Thoughts, Nikki?
No, I mean, I think that there's a lot of different feelings I have on this one. I think it's very complicated. I think that, there's a throw out to what people are, like I said, fear was a big part of this. So focusing on difference in a way that feeds on this is why you don't have access to certain jobs, because a lot of the unqualified people from different backgrounds are getting all of these special programs. And so you've worked hard and you're not getting that. People who, quote unquote, from a, religious perspective are, people may disagree with certain things. And so you're focusing on that. I just feel like it really just robs us of so many of the things that we've tried to just be more thoughtful about, for lack of a better word, at this moment. So that, I think when I see that whole category, it just makes me sad. That's the part that I definitely feel like, who's behind the curtain and what's going to really happen versus what's said, but versus where it's going. So that's what I feel there.
John, what's your thoughts on this? Because I know you are very man
Situations like that, it is what it is. You already know it is what it is. Not once again, this is something again I don't agree with him being president. So, like I said, I only had one stance on anything he had. Other than that, I'm just pro against everything he had going on. It's been that way from the jump. So I'm good on my end.
V.
What this is just beyond me. But the problem for me is there are some people in this country who believe that we're equal now. They're like, you could get the same job as me. Like they don't understand the big picture. So they're like, look at you, look where you live. Why are you acting like you have a better house than me? And I'm white. I'm like, you're not understanding the whole picture. You're just seeing this little thing. We're not equal. And I can't do what you can do in this country. I just can't. It doesn't matter what I've achieved, but it doesn't matter who I look at the vice president. It doesn't matter how many degrees she has, that she was a prosecutor, that she was the vice president of a country, of the United States of America. It doesn't matter her achievements. It doesn't. She's Asian and African. What is that? That makes null and void. So there's so many people in this country who think we are beyond that. We don't have to worry about that anymore. And that worries me because some of those people are for us and they're thinking we've gotten there and they're done helping us because they think they're like, well, you guys, we're here. They're in la la land. It's not that they don't want to help us. They think that they don't get it. So they're like, you guys are here. We're all here together now. No, we're not. And scaring me because those people are kind of the Black and Latino brown people allies. And they're the ones who think that we're there. The KKK doesn't think we're there. They think we're below them and they're not trying to do anything for us. But we have people who were trying to do things for us who now are thinking that we've made it. And now we don't have those people. And I'm like, that's scaring me. Because now what? We need those people. So what do you think?
For me, it's hella scary because I'm married to a woman and we have a kid together. So are those rights going to be rolled back? Is it one day I'm going to get a letter that this kid is no longer, but it's my embryo? So is that going to happen? Is it going to come one day where I can't be his mother, but I'm mommy, but when we go to school, I have to be something else. But that's my kid. So it's very scary for me living in a family and we were getting the same tax breaks and write-offs because we are a family. Are we still a family in the federal government's eyes? Am I not going to get those tax breaks? Can we file being married jointly? Am I a family? Will I be a family? That part for me is scary as hell, where we have the vice president, where a marriage is only between a man and a woman, and we need to stop all this other stuff. And we're going to go, the kids are going to go to school and come back with their genitalia chopped off because
that's what Trump said.
Kamala is going to make it so your kid can choose their gender without your knowledge.
That's what Trump said. I watched it.
So for me, it's really scary. Like you say, if you and I have friends who work in corporations where the escape is, again, you're the only one. You're the only one. So how is this fair? And where's the equitable part of any of this? I think it's is scary. To have civil rights and to know that Dr. Martin Luther King walked for freedom and all of these things, and to know that, are we free? Can we go anywhere we want? Can we do what we want? Look at Chris was talking about, I think you asked earlier, civil rights. Trump is promising Elon Musk a job. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he's promising him a job because they're comrades, right?
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
But our mayor can't have his friends run New York City.
Nope. So I hope the mayor was paying attention because he can use that.
End of the day, he's a Democrat. They ain't with it.
No,
you're trying to. He's going down. He's going down.
Democrat and black. He doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, he's about to go down.
The hypocrisy is crazy. It's the hypocrisy is wild. We can't have a convicted mayor, but we can have a convicted president. Make it make sense. Mind you, he's not convicted yet, but
he ain't even convicted yet. Yeah.
You know, we always have to be so much better. We have to be so much better. Whew, man.
Yeah, convicted.
I wish I could hire a porn star with tax dollars. I wish I could do that, man. Even though I wouldn't. I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying.
You said like you wish.
Audacity. The audacity. Shit.
Melly said they don't recognize their
white privilege. They don't recognize the white privilege. You know why? Because they're not educated. They don't know what white privilege is. They think white privilege means that they have a better house than you, and that's their white privilege. That's what they think. They don't understand the concept. So that's the problem. Education, which is number 5.
Okay.
Did they even have a bill on education? Because from my understanding, they had no bill on education. Republicans.
Yeah, it's called Fox News.
That's their media outlet.
Yeah,
that's their Bible.
Well, you know, NBC was for Harris and Fox is for Trump. So I just kept going back and forth so I could get, because every time they said something good about Harris on NBC. And I was like, okay. And then I would go on Fox and they'd be like, oh, she's doing terribly and blah, blah, blah. And go back. So I had to go back and forth just to get the main feel of what was going on. Because I don't know who, where the truth lies. It's in somewhere in the middle. So I just had to keep going back and forth. NBC and Fox. Because
what was that lady that Trump hired last time? I don't know. It started with an M.
Hired as a what?
As the head of the Department of Education. She's a big charter school maven. Like charter schools for her is like the epitome of life. And charter schools drains all the money out of the public regular public school and puts them into charter schools. So all the money that you would use for like special education is drained out, put into the charter school. And now when you're in the regular public school, you can't service a kid. You have 39 kids. Charter school, they have nice and pretty 15 kids in a class, and they're like, we're making gains. Like, I wish I knew her name. Markowitz. Iris, what's her name? What's her name? But what Trump is proposing, we do away with the Department of Education, period. Yep. Okay. We don't need the federal government telling people what they need to. And you can't teach critical race theory. We don't want to have anything about gender ideology, nothing about that. We don't want to teach anything in schools that make people feel bad. Okay.
No Black history, because it makes the white kids feel bad that they were making us slaves. So
they
we're
have
not.
Betsy DeVos.
Bessie
Betsy DeVos.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't want people to feel this white guilt. So we're not going to teach that anymore. Even though African Americans are part of American history, we don't want to teach that because it makes people feel bad about themselves.
It doesn't make us feel bad. It makes those white people feel bad, and they don't want those kids to feel bad.
Well,
Their fathers
if
and
they
grandfathers.
were not around when this happened.
Well,
I don't understand. It wasn't them who did it.
we're still gonna teach the Holocaust. We're not taking that out. How come?
For educational purposes only. For educational purposes only.
What's wrong? Like, that's not. It's part
This
of
is for educational purposes only.
only. Yeah, but I'm like, we're gonna still teach that. Like,
that's recent history. Ours went back 400 years. They're only 100 or so years ago. That's more recent history. Okay. We don't need to know about the slave chains.
Yeah, we do.
But this is another thing. Any private university who has like African American, what Nick, what is it called? Africana Studies. They have Africana Studies or Latina Studies or anything like that. Any of those other studies, they're going to be fined by the federal government. And that money is going to go to the American University where everybody can go for free. And they're going to teach patriotism. Anybody, does this sound like a North Korea thing?
It sounds like I need to get my passport. That's what it sounds like.
No, you ain't going nowhere. I'm going to find your passport.
England's looking good right now. England looking real good right now.
I'm trying to tell you, come on.
I want to be on the island, but we get too many hurricanes. So
Good point.
Well, I'm telling you, it sounds crazy to me what they're proposing. I'm like, how can we?
Because the U.S. What?
I have one question. I just have one question, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now he's now president elect. And they said they were waiting to, sentence him until after he became president elect. So you're telling me between now and January he can't go to jail?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is that?
White power.
Yeah.
For educational purposes only.
Yes, for educational purposes only. But why can't he go to jail right now? He can be sentenced, go to jail until January.
He has everybody in his pocket. He's never going to see a jail. He's going to be playing golf right after he's in, maybe even right before. He's never seen a jail.
No,
and this is what makes no sense to me.
You're
because right now he's just president elect. He can still be sentenced for his what he's been convicted for and go to jail.
Yep.
I'm waiting till y'all
Until
get to the scariest part of him being president. I'm waiting. What's the next one? I'm waiting for y'all to hit the head. When is it coming? Drop the hammer.
Which one? What do you want?
Yeah.
I'm talking about how he's going to empower law enforcement to do whatever the fuck they want to do. That is the scariest shit of him being elected, and you better believe that shit is coming. They're gonna be putting their foots on colored folks' necks, and they ain't gonna be convicted, and they're gonna be doing their job. And you think this is not coming? I'm willing to take all bets.
Tell us more,
That's
Chris.
the scariest shit.
One of the things he did say was, he's gonna let cops do what they need to do without any repercussions. And he's calling in the National Guards and everybody else to deal with immigration. So these are things that came out of his mouth. So this is what Chris is explaining, and I think that it's going to be insane when he does do that. But once again, these are things, January things in my eyes. You know
So
what I
wait,
mean?
When you
he
see,
said that police people who are being policed, that they can, well,
Basically, purge
yep,
officers. Do what you
they
have
could
to
do
do,
whatever the fuck they want to do because
and they
law
won't be
enforcement
tried.
has the right to do it. Yep. And he wasn't, and I'm telling you,
so
y'all
cops
think
no
this is a
longer be
game?
tried for crimes.
Yep.
Basically,
Yep.
but this is for
When they
educational
ran
purposes
in and
only.
shot when they ran in and shot up that black girl's apartment and whatever and all that, you ain't gonna see. Even though I don't even know if those guys got convicted, but you won't even
Nah,
see a
they was
trial.
let go.
They will let go.
You know, you ain't even gonna see a trial. They won't even get as far as that went.
So they're trying to codify this.
The problem with that is, then what is the point of having IA, which is internal affairs? That's like saying you're getting rid of internal affairs because you're pretty much saying do what you want to do. You're a cop. Do what you want
It
to
is
do.
insane, Iris. The whole situation is, yeah, the bottom line is we're in trouble.
Second Amendment. That's all I can say. Well, all I had to say about climate and energy is that he was like, it's debunk. So he's taking all the energy, like electric cars and all that push, he's cutting it. He's
Yep.
like, we don't need that. We need a
We have all
gas
the
car.
energy. We have enough resources. He thinks he's like, we're just gonna drill here. We have our enough oil. We don't need anybody else. We don't need.
That's gonna hurt his homeboy, Elon Musk.
Well,
He's the creator of
No, it's
Tesla.
not. No, it's not.
Why you saying
No, it's not.
no, it's not?
They already have a plan, and I'm scared to know what it is. So it ain't gonna hurt him. Elon Musk didn't put up and do all. Elon Musk was that girlfriend that you dumped, but that's just never going nowhere. So nah, there's a reason why Elon Musk was riding so hard for Trump. So it ain't gonna hurt Elon.
Yeah, like
He's in on whatever the agenda is gonna be, huh?
Where did that like support come from? Where they're just like lockstep? Like what the hell? That's the scary part. Like all of this, and we're seeing the outside, and we're seeing outside craziness. So what is the inside of this Diddy party looking like?
Yeah,
That's all I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yo,
This
imagine
is
somebody put up $1 million to get you elected, or lie about it, or put his whole what he said about X. He was gonna shut down
Shut the
X
whole
if he
thing.
doesn't get elected. Like he was going hard. I was like, yo, what it tastes like, brother? Like, what do you? Wow, that was
Well,
some crazy. He was
yeah.
going 100. He was going harder than Trump's wife.
But then there's even people
Wow.
like Jeff Bezos who made the Washington Post not actually endorse Kamala. In the past, the Washington Post has been a newspaper who has endorsed a presidential candidate. And there were conversations that they were going to be endorsing Kamala, and he shut that down. He said, we are not endorsing. He's on the board. He's like, we're not endorsing any candidate. And he was one of the first people to congratulate Trump. So in terms of that circle of people who are extremely wealthy that are, a part of the inner collective, it's certainly out there. So
to answer Sean's question about education, Project 2025 calls for the dismantling of the Federal Department of Education. So this means federal funding for programs like Title I, DEA, and ELL is going to disappear.
Yeah. So if you have kids on the spectrum, I'm just saying, we did a show about it. Pray for us, man. This is
Yeah.
gonna be interesting.
Everybody knows somebody who has kids on the spectrum. So I don't know, like,
Yep.
you know.
I think his kid that we don't ever see.
The one that's like
Used to.
6'4".
Yeah, we never. But do you ever see him?
We saw him on
Nah,
Tuesday.
I didn't even. Yeah, he was 6'4". I thought it was like the White Shack.
He's hardly ever around. He's always kind of look, you know. So, but he hides them because he is not the perfect Trump thing. Because all his other kids, he has them out there looking, talking, but that kid, he puts it back into the shadows. So, just saying. He's not happy about
She
whatever
said
it is.
Musk is on the spectrum. Wow.
Did you see that fool? He's in a Trump rally. Oh, I'm like, what are you doing,
Yo,
dude?
must look
What are
like
you
a
doing?
spoiled jar of mayonnaise.
This is definitely educational purposes only.
I neither condone.
I denied that. I am denying that. I am. Hello.
That's part of a different show. We don't do that here. I do not condone this type of talk or behavior.
But
ish.
yeah, well, next it's going to be 4 years. Then he's going to run for president.
Who?
Yep.
Elon.
Good luck on that one.
He'll just buy your vote. What do you mean?
No, and you know what?
You got enough tax breaks.
Oh. Pew, pew, pew. Oh, Elon, the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Elon, the girlfriend. All right, Nicole.
Yep.
Well, this is a fiery show. Nikki,
Yeah.
what are you taking out of this today? What are your surprises or walkbacks? Because I mean, we didn't even finish everything.
No, we
didn't even finish all of his.
It's just the beginning of the conversation. For me, the takeaway is just paying attention, because I think that there is a lot we don't know. And I think it's going to be really important to just be alert. And I think that that's what the conversation reminded me. You know, others were sharing things that I remember hearing about, and then I forgot about it. And so definitely just a reminder to really need to pay attention so we really know what's going on to the best of our ability.
Chris, I'm scared to ask. On the tip of this conversation.
Tune in to the Thoughts of a Man podcast this Tuesday. We're going to talk about being friends with a Trumper. Can you do it? If you're not a Trumper, can you be their friend?
Yes, I'm definitely tuning in. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Listen, the thing that hurts my heart is people are caught up on money. And when you're caught up on money, you're not seeing that they're paying to enslave you. They give you $1 to put judges, to do this, to do all these things he was doing from round one. And in round two, what is he going to do? While you think you're making money or getting money. Oh, that's the most money I've ever seen. Yeah, there's a reason why he gave you that. So that you didn't see what he was really doing. So when your kid is locked up, or your kid's getting beat up by the cops, or situations that you need help with, or your health insurance is not going to cover your procedures, right? All these things that you're not thinking about because you were focused on immigrants, or you were focusing on money, right? Sorry, miss me when you cry, and you're going to be crying in 2 years. And another thing, every time we elect a Republican, they do some bullshit like 9/11 happened, Republican. Why? Because they didn't pay attention to the FBI warnings that there was chatter that was happening. They ignored it. Right? Didn't happen to Democrats. It happened to, and it's just funny to me. It's like one group actually tries to do the job. The other group just has the title and the clout and does not really do the job. They read to little kids and go on vacation. Like, where are you taking leadership to guide us to anywhere? And I'm not saying Biden was the best, but he did the motherfucking job, right? I don't think he golfed 20 times this year.
Do the job, but okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think he fell down getting into the airplane trying to go somewhere to do his job, right? Like, I'm just saying, like, when are we gonna just wake up, man? Just wake up, people. Wake up, man.
Pew pew. Don, what are you taking from this? This tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, he said it all. Catch this Tuesday, man. 8 p.m. I mean, sorry, 7 p.m. 9 p.m. Yo, I'm off.
9 p.m. Dog, man.
Yeah, I'm off the medicine right now. Yeah. Catch this thoughts of a man, man.
No, you on the other medicine. You on the other medicine.
Word, facts. Red Cup gang all day. But yeah. Listen.
V, how you feeling?
Well, you
Your
know,
thoughts.
My thoughts are not good. I mean, I just feel you know what I feel? I'm telling the truth. I'm trying not to feel, but I feel hopeless. I feel like we are in trouble. We're drowning and there's nobody coming to save us and we can't save ourselves. So I keep thinking of like, what can I do? I know everybody feels like your individual can't do anything, but I do think there are things that we can do. So I'm just trying to feel this situation out. I usually don't feel hopeless, but I'm just saying the truth is right now, like with this, I definitely feel hopeless. And I'm like, okay, I hope it turns out better than we are anticipating. So that's what I'm feeling right now. How about you, Cash? What do you feel?
Like you said, I think Dawn said in before, the feeling of you're on board for one out of the 20 things that's going on. You know, there's one out of 20 parts of his policy that's dropping, and people are like, yeah, or what Nikki's saying, they're playing on this fear and intimidation, and they're riling people up to do something. I feel almost like the hopelessness. Are we going to have a civil war here? Because like you talking about making America great again. When was it great for people like me and my family?
Mm-hmm.
And so that is a scary feeling, because America never felt great for me or my ancestors or my family. It doesn't feel great to say that you are undervalued. It's not great to feel that I am a woman who's married to a woman and I got to think about my child. And I think, but the one thing that I do think about and I laugh about is Trump is here because, number one, he is a businessman, right? Is he just doing all this to set up his almost bankrupt? He has to pay $300 million here, $25 million here. Is he bankrupt, and is he getting the ultimate chess playing game to get in, to make it so his businesses can be successful? And that's his long game. What is better than becoming president to get your company to move?
I think maybe a little bit of that, but his ego is too big. what is better than being the president of the United States of America? What other country, like, to be a prime minister somewhere else compared to the United States is not all countries are looking at us right now. My cousins from England went crazy calling me. My phone was like, I'm like, I know. What you gonna do? Did you just hear? They were calling me from Europe. I didn't call them when they did they got the new prime minister. I knew it, and I was talking to them, but it wasn't this. Like, this is the ultimate. It's like the king of the world. You're the president of the United States of America. It doesn't get better than that. And his ego is that. So
get ready for a dictatorship, basically.
there you go. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I think, mark my words, it can't turn into a dictatorship because the Democrats are still there and they would not let it. And even though there's not enough of them, it ain't going to work. However, they're going to make it so you can have 4 more years. And they're going to make it so he can run again. I'm telling you, it's going to change so he can run one more time. I'm telling you right now, that's what the law is going to change into. He will be one more time.
And that's the crazy part, because isn't that what what's this dude name? The mayor did it, where he was able to
Bloomberg.
run. Bloomberg.
Yep. He did it, and then he changed it right
to
back as soon as he was done. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that's what Trump is going to do. I'm like, oh, okay, Trump. So I see him. So I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. He'll be there again. He's not going to let go that easy, and he'll be like, I didn't finish where I came to start. We need to change this, and the Republicans are going to back him. 4 more years. You need 4 more years. We all need 4 more years. You back us, we'll back you. Let's go.
And he has the power to do it.
That's it.
But hopefully we get a candidate that will stop it, and that's the most you can say.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but on that note,
I want to thank our guests today. This is Relationship-ish. We're here Thursday nights, every Thursday at 8 p.m. We're talking about relationship-ish things, from love to politics to sex, marriage, everything you can think of. We're here because we're talking about the cornerstone of every relationship, connection. And I want to thank Nikki. I want to thank pew pew pew. I want to thank Chris. Pew pew pew. I want to thank Don. He has to get that bomb. I want to thank all our guests for tuning in, for dropping their comments, for participating with us, for engaging, because without you, crew, we cannot be here doing what we're doing in season 2. Baby. So, V, what's our show for next week?
Okay, girl, I'll surprise you.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a pop-up show.
I think we need to start setting boundaries here in our relationship. But seriously, share our show, like our show, send it to a friend, to a sister, to a loved one. Even if they're Trumplican, we still love everyone. We can have our feelings about politics. Honestly, I feel we can have our feelings about the politics, but know that love is love. And through the diversity and love and kindness, we become better people. And so, have the conversation and communication to have that diversity so that you can understand each other. Mm-hmm. Don't forget to download that Evening Rush Network app and the Evening Rush Radio app.
Yeah.
Tune into Thoughts of a Man on Tuesday at 9 o'clock.
9 p.m.
Follow us on all social media: Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. We're everywhere.
And tell us what you want to hear. Tell us.
Yeah.
Clap back. We're okay with it. We're here.
DM me. I will love to hear. If you want us to do a specific show, let me know.
Read I did. Project 2025 is crazy. But anyway, this is Relationship-ish. We're your hosts, Cash
and Vee.
Have a great night. See you next week.